The Panthers of Clark, Atlanta were celebrating last year as they won the SIAC Championship ball game. Everybody at CAU excited about that finish last year, but this year they have a chance to go back-to-back, but standing in their way is another set of Panthers. It's the Panthers of Claflin University. Glad you could join us back here at the Bill Harris Arena as we get set for the men's championship ball game now. With Clark, Atlanta, the Panthers of CAU getting set to meet the Panthers of Claflin University. And Panthers of CAU coached by Darryl Walker in his second year. And Coach Walker really starting to turn things around at Clark, Atlanta. And these are some of the things they always have to say, or we have some people talking about him and what he's done there at that program. Katali really starting to turn things around.
Yeah, Coach Grady Brewer over at Morehouse this year says, I don't know why he's here. This guy should be in the Big Ten, ACC, Big East, mid-major. You look at his credentials. So let's take a listen at what Coach Brewer had to say, and maybe more interesting, Coach Walker's response to it all.
He can coach. And I don't understand to this day why he's not at a major or mid-major school, but, you know, nothing against Clark, Atlanta, but he's a great coach.
I appreciate him giving me that compliment, but look, you know, I'm here coaching Clark, Atlanta University. Let's just get it straight. I tried to interview for other schools, and they told me that, you know, you're an MBA guy, you got a great resume, you never coached in college. And I would just laugh to myself because, no, I've never coached in college. I've coached at the highest level you can go in your profession. So it didn't make any sense to me. This opportunity came along, and I wasn't going to put my resume, and I did. And it's probably one of the best things I've ever done was to apply for this job. Because I'm having a ball doing it.
So that's Coach Darryl Walker. He says, look, I applied to these places, and they said, yeah, about that. I know you're an NBA guy. I know you have this big Rolodex of basketball people, but not the right fit for us. He found a perfect fit in Clark, Atlanta. Now in his second year, he could be 2 for 2 for SIAC Championship.
It'll certainly take away that excuse that he doesn't have any experience at the collegiate level. Going back-to-back would be a strong evidence of that. So Darryl Walker with the Panthers of Clark, Atlanta. They are at courtside getting set for a ball game against the Panthers of Claflin University, number 3 in the East, the Panthers of Claflin, and number 2 in the East, the Panthers of CAU, and of course they are the defending champs.
And Ricky Jackson not doing too shabby of a job himself this year. Beat Morehouse twice. No one else has done this, and he could potentially give Claflin their first ever SIAC
Indeed, you're right. He'll have to beat the Panthers of Clark, Atlanta twice to do that, so they may walk away with the championship and that privilege of saying that they knocked both of them off twice during the course of 1 year.
Should they win tonight, will the history book say that Claflin was the best team in the SIAC this year?
Yeah, after it all is said and done, absolutely right. We're going to get that showtime, no question about it. He was just ecstatic about the way that they were able to win that ball game in the semifinals against the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. So much discussion about Morehouse and their ranking throughout the season, and it was a quality team, but Claflin really showing that they are worthy of being a part of that full conversation. So now the Panthers of Clark, Atlanta, and the Panthers of Claflin University getting set to tangle in this ball game. The winner, SIAC champs. Panthers of Clark, Atlanta have won 5 titles as part of their program, going back as far as 1940. And this is going to be their 15th tournament championship game appearance here in the ball game this afternoon for the Panthers of Claflin University. They joined the SIAC in 2008. And this is going to be their first bout at the championship here against the Panthers of CAU. Take a look at the starting lineups now. We'll begin with the Panthers of Claflin University. There'll be visitors on the scoreboard. It'll be Timothy Christian, the second, the senior from Silver Spring, Maryland, going at the swing position in the quarterfinal ball game. Christian with 4 points and 2 rebounds. At the point guard, Tristan Thompson, part of the twin duo at Claflin University, 6'8", 5'9", 15 points, 3 rebounds in the quarterfinal or the semifinal ball game on yesterday. Jaleel Charles, a 6'9" senior from Far Rockaway, New York, had 12 points and 12 rebounds, the double-double in the semifinals to push them into the championship ball game. Jordan Jones, the sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, starting because Austin Lawton got injured in the quarterfinal game. Jones started in the semifinals, had 2 points, 5 rebounds. as they win that ball game. Trey Williams, Benjamin Trey, 5'11", senior from Salisbury, North Carolina. He will occupy the 5th position. Williams just has been getting off and very steady during the tournament. 19 points, 3 rebounds in the semifinal win. Panthers of Claflin, coached by Ricky Jackson. He's in his 4th season. Now the starting lineup for the Panthers of Atlanta University. Going to be the senior from Brooklyn, New York, Anthony Williams, 6 feet, 175 pounds, 16 points, 4 rebounds in the semifinal win over the Tigers of Benedict College. Jamal Polydor, the junior from Brooklyn, New York, 13 in the semis. He will start at the other guard position. Akil Douglas, the All-SIAC player for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, senior from San Jose, California, 14 points in the semifinal ball game. He'll have to have a good ball game here for the Panthers in this championship matchup. Jaleel Mitchell, the 6'6" junior from Chicago, Illinois. Semi-production for him, 7 points, 6 rebounds in that semifinal ball game. And rounding out the 5 for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta is Damien Davis, the senior, also from New York. He's from Brooklyn. Davis, 9 points, 10 rebounds in the semifinal ball game on yesterday. He'll start in the middle. Starting the lineup for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta University, they're coached by Darrell Walker. He's assisted by Alfred Jordan. Officials for this men's championship ball game, Ken Washington, Hosea Braggs, and Mickey Cunningham with the call of this SIAC men's championship ball game. Glad you could join us on HBCU Game Day.
I think Claflin will face many of the same obstacles from the 6th man that Central State had to face in the previous game, because that pro Clark Atlanta crowd, guess what? They haven't gone back to Atlanta yet.
No, probably added to the numbers, as some people here traveling to get specifically to the men's contest.
Getting ready, Visitors Bureau of Birmingham. I think business will pick up tonight if we get another Clark Atlanta win.
Indeed. Jones to jump against Douglas. Taps. Going to be controlled by the Panthers of Claflin. Via the Panthers of CAU.
He tried to do a soccer bump with his chest there.
At the block, nicely done. Williams there to the rack, and those are the first 2 of the ball game. So Claflin shooting for its first championship contest. They get the first 2. At the post, Davis. Davis in foul trouble in the semifinal ball game. Let's see if he can stay clear of that in this one. Douglas bumped, leans back with the jumper, missed on the shot. Davis got the rebound. Charles took it away from him, and over the back was Davis. So as soon as we said, he picks up his first foul.
You put the jinx on him right there. You mentioned his foul trouble, and the first thing he did was jump over the back of Jaleel Charles.
Foul number 1 on Damien Davis. Jaleel Charles, no stranger to fouls himself, so this should be an interesting matchup.
He's had an early 3 in at least 2 games here this week.
He has. Williams, they push it left side, Tristan Thompson. Top of the key, Charles. Now Christian touches to go back to the block to Charles. Nicely done.
If he gets the ball that low in the post, there's not much you can do but hold on for the ride.
Sure. And that's absolutely the case. He's so strong. If you get on an arm, he'll carry you right to the rack. The early buckets by the Panthers of Claflin force a quick timeout by Coach Darrell Walker. Just not happy about the start of his team as they trail it 4-0.
Well, he realized the horses that he's up against, and he knows that this is not a team, this is not the time, this is not the night to get down early.
Sure.
To Claflin.
Absolutely right. Beg your pardon. Traditionally, you just don't want to start slow in the first place, but you certainly don't want to start slow against this team. Morehouse experienced that in the semifinal ball game. They could never really get on track, and Claflin just so aggressive on their defense that they get a lead, they can maintain it.
When they name the all-tournament team, I hope Smokey the Panther is on it.
If we have some votes, we should just put him in as a write-in, right?
He has put in work this week. Way to go, Smokey.
Anthony Williams, the senior for CAU. Now they go to the post to Davis, right side. Now on the weave, that's Mitchell. 10 to shoot now for Clark Atlanta.
Pick and roll, nothing there for Davis.
Mitchell behind the back, inside the paint, and a whistle.
With that early timeout, and we felt this same energy in the women's game. Each possession from the beginning to the end of the game, of course, just feels ultra important compared to any other game we've seen
You're
this year.
absolutely right. Every trip down the floor is just like you're measuring the whole season on that trip. Mitchell line drops that first free throw. He's good.
Coach Ricky Jackson just prodding along the sideline there. He hasn't quite gotten lathered up just yet.
Yeah, I saw him on a golf cart just kind of sitting there outside of the floor.
Well, he kept his tracksuit on to the very last minute.
Sure.
He said, there's going to be no wrinkles in this suit. It's a game time decision.
4-1 lead for the Panthers of Claflin after the second missed free throw at the line by CAU. Christian handles now. Entry pass to Williams. He'll back inside. Across the floor to Jones, and Jones to the rack for the Panthers of Claflin. Now getting that basketball in so deep early on here, Tolly, problems for the Panthers of CAU.
Yeah, Jordan makes an excellent 1-2 punch along with Charles on that front line for Claflin.
Davis, foul line extended for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Back to Williams. He'll push a three there. Routed it and missed it.
In and out.
Yeah, the little Charles pulls that rebound for Claflin.
Anthony Williams, a senior. This is his last game, unless there's more postseason to play for the Panthers.
And they pretty much have to win this to do that, as a tap inside by Timothy Christian.
I don't know. We'll see. I've heard varying opinions on this subject. I had a big conversation this morning at breakfast about that. Some people feel Clark Atlanta is in because they've made it this far.
Sure.
We'll see.
I think that's a comfortable statement about Clark Atlanta. But I think if Claflin can win, they'll just get the tournament.
Yeah, automatic bid.
Sure, they're automatic. Davis works underneath. Nice job by him on the lay-in. 8-3, Claflin with the lead and basketball. Touch pass at the block, Charles to the rack, and he got the flush. It's going to take more than just a tap of the arm to knock that basketball free from him.
Yeah, when he gets it, that's a vice grip.
Whistles, and we go back the other way. Jones takes the charge, and the turnover sends it back to Claflin. Jones in the quarterfinal ball game really got off in that contest, 18.6 rebounds, stepping in after Lawton had gotten injured in that contest. In the semis, quieted a little bit with just 2 points and 5 rebounds. They will need his input from the floor like they had in that quarterfinal game. Thompson works it just in front of the clock bench now as Charles has it out front. Right side, Jones. Shot clock not a factor at 13 right now. They push it inside too deep, trying to get it down low to Charles. So a turnover there by Benjamin Williams. And the Panthers of Clark Atlanta go back the other way with the basketball. Anthony Williams handles out front for them. Trying to work off a screen by Damien Davis. Jumper instead by Williams is off the mark. Douglas had it at the block. Thompson tying him up. Now he'll get it to the cylinder. And we're going to have a foul call down low.
And that's what they need from Douglas, not for him to only play tall, but to play strong. It's one thing to go up in the air and get the ball, but then when you got the power back up,
sure,
that's a different set of circumstances.
And that's a great point, Tolly, because on that set down low, Tristan Thompson, the smallest guy on the floor, was down there tying him up when he came down with that rebound.
Yeah, it's like a fire hydrant fighting a light pole.
I like that.
It just comes to me every once in a while. I probably used it all up for this game already.
That's all right. The action will carry this one. 10-4. Douglas 1 of 2 from the line. Thompson pushes inside the paint. Back to Williams. And they'll reset now. Thompson guarded by Polydor. Hard push to the rack by him across the floor. Now back out Jones. Pumps the three. Drains the three. That's what they're going to need from him. Good move behind the back for Polydor. Left it short on the cylinder. Williams crashes the boards for Claflin, and the basketball belongs to the men in orange.
Polydor has no problem going 1-on-3 with him being the one.
Claflin with a 13-4 lead with our first TV timeout. We'll step out for a break here. This is the SIAC Men's Basketball Championship on HBCU Game Day. It's really the Smokey the Panther show here. We just got basketball wrapped around him.
Look, I'm cool now. Smokey just gave me that.
Yeah, high five.
Man, I am no longer the old crusty old dude. I'm back in my prime now. It's just like osmosis.
Gonna wear off in a second, though.
It's already gone.
15:43 left first half.
My foot hurts again.
Claflin with the basketball. They lead it 13-4. Good start for them. Right side, Williams behind the arc. They've got 18 to shoot. And Jones now in the right corner. At the block, Charles. Good entry pass across the floor to Williams.
Nice little reach around pass there after he was double teamed. Easy layup for Claflin.
Sure. So Charles with an assist there. They lead 15-4. CAU with it. Left side of the floor now. Mitchell trying to get it at the block to Davis. Davis backing in on Charles across the paint. Pushes in the corner Douglas. Douglas drains a jumper there. So Douglas with that basket. He's got 3. Claflin now, half court set. Christian out front. Trying to work off a screen by Charles. Benjamin Williams over to Tristan Thompson. Back to Williams. Thought about the 3. Now raises, fires, can't get it to fall. Short rebound comes away to Clark Atlanta. They trail 15-6. Douglas runs the floor right side with the basketball. We're at 14:32 left first half. Davis going to challenge Charles at the block. Right-hand hook shots off the mark. Benjamin Williams comes away with the rebound. He'll push. Jones, head fake by him. Nice step, foul line extended. Routed it good.
If he starts to feel it for Claflin, it's going to be even more trouble for Clark Atlanta.
Absolutely. He just lit it up here in that quarterfinal ball game and got out of the doghouse with Coach Ricky Jackson as a result. On the weave now, CAU handles it. Mitchell works it over to Davis. Clark Atlanta playing far away from the basket right now. Mitchell out front, they got 5 to shoot. He'll force that one, shot it hard. Rebound, Williams skied and somehow got that basketball away from Damien Davis. Whistles down low.
About to check in the game for Clark Atlanta is the guy that is their spark plug off the bench, Shelvick Henry.
Henry on the floor, Donnell Bowles and Tyler Thompson on the floor now for the Panthers of Claflin. Tristan Thompson takes a seat, Jaleel Charles takes a seat, and probably what Coach Jackson's happiest about is Charles leaves the game, not because of fouls, but he just wants to give him a break.
Yeah, has a lead, has an opportunity to give him a rest, and he's got some other players out here making buckets as well.
Tyler Thompson, the senior. Backpedals near the mid-stripe for Claflin. Jones surveys. Now they push it. Christian. 9 to shoot now for Claflin. Top of the key. Williams over to Timothy Christian's on the weave. Tyler lost it. Now he'll shoot it with 2 seconds left. Rebound cleared by Henry and the Panthers of CAU. Henry the junior from Mobasso, Florida. 13 minutes left first half. Panthers of CAU need a spark of some sort on offense. They trail by 11, but it's been a sluggish start for them. Cross dribble there by Williams underneath to the rack. Can't get it to fall. Had a good look, but he'll come clear with the basketball and a fresh 30. Mitchell on the push now. Leans back with the jumper, and we're going back the other way.
That was like 2 seconds after that happened.
That's like a TV delay or something, right?
He had fallen down, got back up, and then he got the charge.
Say, wait a second, you charged. You committed the foul. I was looking for the call, and then when I didn't hear it right away, I said, well, I guess they're not picking that one up. Justice is slow.
But swift.
Yeah. Bowles with the jumper. Missed on the shot in left corner. On the floor now, Michael Vigilance for the Panthers of CAU. He grabbed the rebound, the senior 6'9" from Brooklyn, New York. They slotted in at the base now to Davis. Pushing in on the smaller Bowles to the rack, and that was easily done. That's
his move. Spin, 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 then opposite shoulder, hook shot.
Coach Jackson's not going to get very much out of that matchup with Bowles down at the block at 6'5". That's just not enough meat down there to deal with Davis.
No.
On the floor now, Thomas Johnson handles the basketball. Up top and a whistle on his turn. They're going to get Henry with his push.
Davis looks like one of those guys that's at the door. ID, please.
Easily could be his moonlighting job.
Sure.
11:57 left first half. 17-8 lead for the Panthers of Claflin over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta University. Timeout on the floor. Back live here inside the Bill Harris Arena. 11:57 left first half of play. Championship ball game. Panthers of Claflin with a 17-8 lead over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta.
So far, it looks like our first game.
Yep.
Clark Atlanta gets down double digits, close to double digits. The girls made a comeback. Let's see how this one unfolds.
Lady Panthers win the women's title 71-70 over the Lady Marauders of Central State. Jones with another good look there. That one wouldn't stay down for him there. As Vigilance clears the rebound, Clark Atlanta back the other way.
Yeah, Coach Moore showing her Coach of the Year award, no fluke, taking home the division and conference championship.
Outside, Vigilance with three, hit the back of the iron. Christian's guys, and he got the rebound.
I think Claflin can live with Clark taking that shot.
Sure, with Vigilance taking it from outside. And looking at Coach Moore at the other side of the arena behind the scorers table. She's actually got the net that they cut down around her neck. She's not letting go of anything.
Nice accessorizing.
Sure. Christian with 10 to shoot now. They try to work it inside and throw it away. Henry's fouled in the backcourt by Jarrett Gassett. Gassett just on the floor, the junior from Memphis, Tennessee. He'll pick up his first foul.
And those are the type of things that Shelvick Henry does for this Clark Atlanta offense. He comes in, makes a steal, makes big buckets, and they get the turnover.
All around spark for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Williams across the timeline, 17-8. They trail to the Panthers of Claflin. Mitchell behind the arc right side. Zone defense there by Claflin. To the rack, Davis is missed on that shot. Basketball down on the floor now.
That's a kickball.
And it will belong to the Panthers of Claflin.
I think Davis got away with an extra step there on that drive to the basket as well.
Claflin just seemingly a little bit quicker to the spot early on in this basketball game. Johnson pushes over to Tyler Thompson. Back up to Johnson out front now. 14 to shoot for Claflin. He'll work a screen left side. Now Vigilance picks him up as he missed on the shot, and Jones over the back.
Yeah, a little too aggressive there, but Jones is off to a great start offensively for Claflin.
10 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half of the men's championship ball game. Glad you could join us for our coverage from HBCU Game Day on the multiple platforms available there. Men's championship between the Panthers of CAU and the Panthers of Claflin. Mark Burton on the floor now for Clark Atlanta. Henry out front. CAU almost lost it. Now they got 12 to shoot. Nothing for Henry with the line drive. He routed and missed it. Thought he had that one down. He was trotting back down the floor.
It was all the way in, except it popped right back out.
Look at Tristan Thompson, so quick to the rack. Henry, no slouch himself in terms of speed, but on that trip down the floor, just no match for Tristan Thompson.
Now Burton brings three-point shooting for Clark Atlanta. Let's see if he gets a look at it. Henry here, and he gets it to go.
Henry shaking his head, thought he was fouled on that three-pointer. He's saying that's twice that he was fouled and no call. Tyler Thompson handles now in a half-court set for Claflin. They lead it 19-11. Johnson behind the arc now. Vigilance will pull out on him. Hard step and drive by Vigilance. He lost it on the floor. 3-on-1 break now for CAU. Williams to the rack. They're going to wave it off before the shot.
Good decision there by Williams. He had options there, but to draw a foul there on one of the premier offensive players for Claflin might get extra bang for your buck if he hits. Well, he's not going to the free throw line, but that's a good move, picking up the foul. Now the player has to go to the bench.
And it's Jordan Jones taking the place of Austin Lawton in their lineup. That's his third. So without being able to go deep with Lawton now, you're going to have to really be conservative about the fouls or the play for Jones as they go down the stretch.
Yep, that's how you see the game ahead of where you are. As the kids say, chess, not checkers.
Yes. Inside play now, the Panthers of Clark Atlanta push it out of bounds on a turnover. So turnover number 4 for CAU. And Claflin going back the other way with an 8-point lead as we come to the 9-minute mark in the first half. Claflin vying for his first SIAC championship as Tristan Thompson handles out front. Trying to clear it, left side. Got a screen there, pushes to Christian. 7 to shoot now. Johnson on the move. He'll slide all the way left side, leans back and missed on the shot. And we're going back the other way.
Yep, the frustration from missing a shot that he felt like he should have made results in the quick foul. We have been preaching that to the choir all week long.
Charles called for that foul on the inside, so that's his first. Comes with 8:30 left in this first half of play.
2-degree temperature change?
Yep. Williams, Vigilance, yes. 6-point lead now for Claflin after the basket by Vigilance. His first 2 in the contest. Williams now whistles down low. Christian and Mitchell tied up inside the paint.
Both of them seem dismayed as to what happened there.
Hit Mitchell with the foul. So Williams back out on the floor. Benjamin Williams for the Panthers of Claflin.
Jaleel Charles checks back in the game.
So Mitchell picks up his second for Clark Atlanta with 8:08 remaining. Charles to inbound it now. Surveys. Got it in the corner to Benjamin Williams. Dumped it back down at the block. Charles, he'll have to hustle for it. Good touch on that. No call. Bumping down low, and he'll get the basket. So Charles with the basket, make it 21-13.
Vigilance grinning at the bench, telling his teammates, I guess that little flop didn't work right there.
Burton on the penetration now, all the way to the rack. Had it rejected from behind, and another late whistle there. Christian blocked the basketball out of bounds. Basketball in the official's hands before the whistle blows. Timeout on the floor. 7:47 remains first half. 21-13. Panthers of Claflin lead the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Back with more action after the break. Back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. 7:47 left in this first half of play. Right now, each team with only 1 3-point basket in this first half. Surprised by that stat as players making it back out on the floor.
I'd like to say hello to all of our fans out there watching. We've had some loyal followers all week long on the live stream. Brenda Sampson's been hanging out with us. She says it's going to be a good game. It's getting a little better, Brenda.
Sure is. 13-21, right? 21-13 lead for the Panthers of Claflin as Burton at the line for CAU missed on the first of 2 free throws.
Hey, Burton, you have people watching right now in Tokyo ready to scream on the other side of the world, but you got to make a bucket first.
This is for the fans in Tokyo.
That
Burton
made them happen right there. It made them happy. Mark Burton.
1 of 2 from the line. 21-14, 7-point spread. Claflin with the lead and basketball. Tyler Thompson pushes up top. Christian. Left side Williams at the block. Charles is there. Doubled immediately. Whistles. He's going to be fouled by Vigilance or either Henry. It'll be Vigilance. Got the call for the foul. It's his first.
That was on 15.
Now Coach Walker has probably a better luxury than Coach Jackson has. He's got enough players that he can push down there toward Charles and enough players that he can afford to foul him a few times. And I don't think that Coach Jackson and the Panthers of Claflin have that luxury on their end of the floor.
No, real deep bench for Clark Atlanta would be even deeper. Austin Donaldson, he's been dealing with the injury second half of the season. Came over from Georgia State.
Charles missed on the second of 2, 22-14. They still lead it. Clark Atlanta playing catch up here with the basketball. We're at 7:22 left first half. 15 of 13, 5 of 15 shooting for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. 10 of 17 for Claflin. Burton out front now, 6 to shoot. Pushes in the corner, Vigilance for 3. Can't get it to fall.
Yeah.
Christian with that rebound.
Claflin likes that right there. He did hit a long jumper a second ago, but they're not worried about him killing them from 3.
Sure, they'll let him have that one. Take their chances. Williams, right side. Tyler for Tristan Thompson now. He'll push to the corner, tied up down there. Now 10 to shoot for Claflin. Charles way away from the basket. He'll raise, fire. Rattled it and missed it. Henry runs it down for Clark Atlanta. Up the floor he goes. He'll slide all the way through and to the rack, and they're going to wave it off. Charles just peeked out of there in just enough time to get the position, and a good job by him.
And those are the fouls earlier in the week that were going against Jaleel Charles and had him on the bench.
Second personal on Henry now. Running the basket left side. Tyler Thompson works his left side of the floor. At the post is Charles. He'll turn. Hard move by him. Right side. Nicely done. Count the basket. That's such a good turn. He would let the wave 2 people pass him on that weave. As you take a look at that on replay, that was an excellent step by him after he waved on the 2 players running that little weave out front. A quick step him to the right as you take a look at it, setting up near the foul line. Watch the pump there, and there he goes. Everything spread open for him on that.
Everybody went with what they thought was going to be the pass. He turned from the top of the key, dribble drive to the bucket.
Charles playing big so far with 9 points already. Chance for 10 here, but the free throw, he got it.
And we really haven't seen him have a just breakout game that he's capable of all week long. This might be the night.
Indeed, you're right. The most point production he's had in the tournament is 12. That was in the semis, and that was with some foul trouble. Already at 10 with 6:06 left first half. Davis back on the floor, pushes Burton for 3. Can't get it to fall. Rebound now. Henry will push a 3-pointer. His rattler is in and off the mark as well. Boy, they're getting good looks. Clark Atlanta just can't close them out. So you can't be discouraged by that. They got to keep shooting. Williams with a floater inside the paint left side. They jump the basketball in the backcourt. Pass up the floor to Mitchell. 27-14, little spurt there for Claflin. Mitchell steps back with the jumper and cans it for Clark Atlanta.
Mitchell.
27-16, Mitchell with that basket. 3 points in the first half. Williams in the corner for Claflin. On the weave, Christian. He'll go hard right side underneath to the rack. Missed on the shot. Good defense there by Damien Davis. Now Now Williams, they left him free in the paint. He'll take the crip near the foul line. Missed on the shot. Tapped around. Comes to Charles.
Davis had his hands on that, just couldn't, rolled right off his fingertips, couldn't bring it in.
CAU with a good look there inside the paint. Next dead ball is going to be Jarrett Gassett for the Panthers of Claflin. The report, 4:43 remains first half. Christian thought about the three. Now to Williams. They've got 8 to shoot. Williams, hard dump down inside, and there's a second clutch of the first half for Charles.
Yeah, Burton was behind Charles, even if he had been in front of him. I don't know if there's anything.
Maybe 3 because he's going to get the dunk and you may foul him. 29-16. Mitchell rattled the second, missed that one. Charles is going to pop that basketball over the top of Davis.
That's been 4 or 5 shots that have been in and out for Clark Atlanta.
Just not falling their way at this point.
Now that is the goal where they cut the nets down, but they didn't do anything to the rim.
I didn't see him shaving with any kind of metal tools or anything, changing the shape of the rim. Corner, Christian, bounce pass inside Charles, doubled immediately. He'll back up and push across the floor. 5 to shoot, top of the key. Tyler Thompson missed on the shot. Here comes Henry pushing left side at the rack, threw it away. Thompson had it. Now he'll try to lead a break. He'll push the floor. Now settle back in.
Yep, got under the basket, nowhere to go, and threw it away.
3:35 left. Tyler Thompson with the basketball near the mid-stripe. He's looking like he's just trying to find a little win right now. Right side. Christian pops out to get the basketball. We're at 10 to shoot already. Burton trying to catch up with Thompson. Left side, Williams. 6 to shoot for Claflin. At the block, Charles pushing at the floor. Thompson, Tristan with the jumper. Off the mark. Good defensive stop there for Clark Atlanta. Henry back over to Williams. Anthony Williams, right-hand floater. He just put that one about over the rim and let it go, right?
Wasn't much of a shot. It was just I don't know what to call that.
We can call it 2 points, that's for sure. 3 minutes left in this first half. 29-18, Claflin leads. Out for a break, back with more. HBCU Game Days coverage continues. Minutes remains in this first half of play. It's an all-Panther affair for the men's championship here from Bill Harris Arena. The Panthers of Claflin with a 29-18 lead over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Coach Ricky Jackson trying to make some history at Claflin. Be the first coach there in that program to win an SIAC crown.
Well, can't argue with the results thus far.
Right side on the floor now for the Panthers of Claflin is Albert Trey Miller, and Claflin throws that one away. Henry quickly back the other way for Clark Atlanta. At the post, Davis, as the Panthers of Claflin go small. Davis able to take advantage, and he got a basket down low.
I think it was Clark Atlanta women who finally got the lead down to 8 at halftime of their game, and able to carry that momentum into their second half.
Made a surge and come out winners. Miller back out front now. They go back to him, pushes a 3. That one's off the mark. But Christian runs it down far side of the floor.
It's going to be a push out there.
He said he was pushed out, yeah. So we'll check the foul. They called the foul on Mitchell. That's his third. So that will send Christian to the line for the Panthers of Claflin. They're in a double bonus with 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, first half. Coach Jackson now just trying to get a couple of good quality minutes here before the intermission. Got his starting lineup resting, with the exception of a couple of players out there. Benjamin Williams still on the floor, and Christian at the free throw line. And Christian got them both from the line. Make it 31-20. Panthers of Claflin with the lead. CAU, they have it half court set. We're at 2 minutes exactly remaining first half now.
Bigger front line right now for the Panthers with Damien Davis and Akil Douglas out there. Size and brute strength.
Panthers of Claflin in a zone. 7 to shoot at the block. Davis, he'll catch, and he's fouled down low. He'll get that all day. Gassett trying to catch up with him.
Yeah, the three-point shot hasn't been kind to CAU so far, but Damien Davis has been able to make a bit of a living here in the first half, getting the ball down on the block.
They are 1 of 7 from behind the arc. Damien Davis now at 6 points, 3 of 5 from the floor. Shooting free throws here. Missed on the first.
That was more like a shot put there.
He might be trying to make some adjustments to the rim with the basketball.
Whatever was wrong with the rim, I think he just worked it out.
Got the wobble out of it. No, he saw something on the right side too.
Wow.
Missed them both.
Give him one more. I think he might hit the middle on that one.
31-20, Claflin with the lead. Miller, Trey Miller with Albert Miller this time in the corner. Shovel pass inside. Christian tried to hang on the shot. Not able to get it to the cylinder though. Right side, Williams surveys. We're at 1:20 remaining. $16 to shoot. Douglas squares, fires, and drops it for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. They needed that basket. Douglas answers for them. He's got 5. 31-22, 60 seconds left first half. Halfway of the men's championship ball game. At the block, Gassett works underneath, pass batted around, comes clear to Albert Miller for Claflin. Shot clock doesn't reset, it's at 12. Now Miller, hard move to the rack, dumped it down low in traffic, and it's comes clear to Miller. Miller down low to Gassett, and they got a basket out of it somehow, probably.
You can't fault the hustle that
Absolutely
Clark
not.
Atlanta had. That was just a bad bounce, but a great bounce for Claflin.
30 seconds left first half. 33-22 lead for Claflin. Clark Atlanta with the basketball, half court set. 13 to shoot for them. At the post, Douglas doubled there. He'll turn square, left that one short. Gassett had a hand on it. Trey Miller runs it down for the Panthers of Claflin. They'll have the final shot here. Williams to Tyler Williams now. Thompson out front. Tyler Thompson handles with 6. They'll work a screen left side. Thompson slides all the way through to the rack to the cylinder. Banked it high off the glass, and he got the lay-in. Boy, that's a big effort there by the senior Tyler Thompson for the Panthers of Claflin University. At the break, they lead it 35-22 over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Men's championship ball game, the 2018 SIAC Championship. Step out for a break here, or if we look at the replay before we do that. Excellent work there by Thompson. Went way up off the glass. Knew he had to do it because of the taller players of Clark Atlanta inside.
And we talked about, Clark cutting that lead down to maybe 8 or 9 would be good for them at the half, but what we saw instead was another mini surge by Claflin, who now pushes that lead to 13, which gives them a bit of a cushion to start the second half in case that next Clark run comes. They have a little bit of a buffer in between them.
I think you can take the probability out of it and say that the run will come.
It's going to have to come with defense, that's for sure. At some point during halftime, we are scheduled to talk with SIAC Commissioner Gregory Moore before he gets ready to hand out some more crystal after this game is over. So we'll track down Commissioner Moore, and right now you can enjoy more of Smokey here at halftime of the SIAC Championship. Welcome back to HBCU Game Day's exclusive coverage of the 2018 SIAC Tournament. At halftime, your score, Claflin 35, Clark Atlanta University 22. In our earlier game, Clark Atlanta wins the SIAC Women's Championship over Central State University. And we are joined now here at courtside by Gregory Moore. He is the commissioner of the SIAC. And Commissioner Moore, I was talking to this with Charles Ward. It's been a great week, but the last 2 days, 2.5 days, the games have just picked up in intensity, and every single game has been like an emotional nail biter. And I'm just drained. Like, these great games have been so good. How great is it for you when you look at conference play and these teams are so equal despite the seeding, and the fans get to see such great basketball?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and your team for doing such a great job of streaming this event. I mean, I think our fans, the feedback we've gotten has been terrific. I've gotten a bunch of emails and calls at the conference office, so I want to thank you, not just for what you guys do in connection with this event, but just throughout the year in showcasing historically black colleges and university athletics.
Certainly welcome. I mean, certainly welcome.
This is a culmination, frankly, of a year that we've had, which has been phenomenal. I mean, we've had 3 teams ranked in the top 25. You know, Claflin, Clark Atlanta, and Morehouse. 4 teams that are ranked, adding Benedict in the top 4 in the region. I'm thinking, you know, we may get 2 or 3 teams in the tournament this year. The Clark Atlanta women's team has been turning things around with Coach Yolanda Moore doing a great job in her first year. So, again, we are, you know, just really pleased with how our basketball has gotten much stronger over the past few years.
And you look at the landscape of the coaches, you have a good mix. There's some young coaches in there. There's some seasoned coaches who had long tenures at their school. And then you have some high-profile coaches. You have, you know, Coach Moore. She's a WNBA champion. And then, of course, the men's coach, he has a name that people recognize as well. So it's a great mix of all different types that you have in the coaching ranks this year.
Yeah, we have a great mix. That's a great observation. We have a lot of coaches in our league who are former professional athletes, and we have some coaches who weren't, and they've all, you know, quite frankly, have distinguished themselves in their own way. So we're pleased. I think our coaches are among the best in the country.
You know, you talk about the streaming that we've done this year. The traditional model, when you and I were kids, you know, there was 3 channels, and you come home and you read the paper and you'd watch one of those 3 channels. But now there's so many different avenues with social media and just the digital revolution that continues to evolve. We're able to talk to people at home who are chatting with us on YouTube while they're watching the game, and there's just so many different levels of interaction. What challenge does it present for you to not only run an athletic conference, but keep up with the way people consume media and consume information?
Well, you know, our league has frankly been really in the avant-garde when it comes to digital and social media strategy. You know, our board of directors in 2010 voted unanimously to put all of our schools on the Sidearm Sports platform. 6 years later, in 2016, the Pac-12, which is a Power 5 league, became the second league to do that. So, you know, we've been in the avant-garde. We ranked number 2 out of 24 D2 conferences in Facebook. We're number 1 in Twitter. We're number 1 in Instagram, number 1 in YouTube. We're bringing about 300,000 fans to our digital platform every month, all of our websites. So this partnership with HBCU Game Day is, quite frankly, keeping consistent with what we've been doing the past 9 years. And what I'm pleased about is, if we want to give our fans access, right? And you made a point about streaming and linear TV and 3 channels. During the week, our games start in the morning on Monday morning. So we got to be honest, you know, it's very few fans that have the ability to take off work and spend a whole week at our tournament. But if we can give them access to our games via the cell phone, via their iPad, via their computer, you know, we can't bank on them being in front of a TV at work. Most folks don't have a TV in their office, but they got a computer, and almost everyone has a phone. So again, I think this platform and this stream has been very successful in just giving our fans and alumni access to the games, and also providing a bigger platform for our coaches and our student athletes to showcase what they can do.
You've been in the news quite a bit this year. Russell Athletics goes out of the manufacturing and apparel business for colleges, and they had a lot of HBCU business. So that opened up the door. And you guys signed with Nike. You signed earlier than a lot of other schools and conferences have made their deals.
We did it quick, didn't we? We moved quick.
Yeah. Well, tell us about that deal.
Well, let me just say this. I know I keep coming back to this, but we have a President's Council that has been phenomenal. And when you're a commissioner and you work for 14, 15 presidents, you want support and you hope to have people acting in concert. And I think the sidearm deal, where all our presidents voted unanimously to go on the same web platform, that was not as easy as it sounded. Nike deal, same deal. Our presidents were in a holding pattern for about 3 weeks or to a month, and that's a hard thing to do. They had to pretty much trust the conference office to go out there and bring back an opportunity that they felt was credible. And I think we delivered. The deal that we have with Nike, it's the largest apparel company in the world, and we are the only league, as I understand it, that has a head-to-toe deal with Nike. There's no other conference, Division 1, 2, or 3, black, white, or polka dot that has that deal. And this is why it's important. Number one, from a recruiting standpoint, kids want to wear Nike. They want to wear LeBron. They want to wear Jordans. They want to wear Kyrie's, KD's, and with all due respect to Adidas and other brands, those brands don't have the same force as Nike from a recruiting standpoint.
Right.
Secondly, from a grassroots basketball movement, Nike has been doing that a lot longer, and I think it helps us to cultivate better relationships, some of the more successful grassroots programs out there. And so I think over time, there'll be a halo effect that partnership will have, not just on our basketball, but throughout our HBCU campuses as a whole.
What's next for the SIAC? You're wrapping up basketball here. There'll be at least 2, hopefully 3 teams who will continue play on after our championship is over here. Spring sports are underway. What's the next big thing to challenge for the SIAC or to tackle for the SIAC?
Well, we actually, folks know us primarily for our football. We once again led the Division II in average football attendance for the 15th consecutive year. But our spring sports are getting stronger as well. So we're about to get into our really busy period of time with tennis and golf and baseball and softball and track and field. So this is actually our busiest season we're about to enter into. But I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I think both our men's and women's programs that make it to the basketball tournament, I think they can go far. And I think some of our teams have a chance to compete for a national championship.
At that point, an argument can definitely be made. In a couple of years, things will look a little bit different here because Savannah State is returning home. What type of things do the conference, how do you get ready to bring someone back home? What are things that have to happen before that maybe the average fan isn't aware of what goes into that process?
Well, Savannah State, as you know, was a member when I was many moons ago. And we're very happy. That was an early Christmas present. President Cheryl Dozier and her staff informing us that they're going to return to the SIAC. They have a great facilities, great academics. They have a history with our league. But also, when you talk about basketball, they are the class of the MEAC
right now.
Right now. So when you look at 4 of the top 10 teams in the South region being in the Eastern Division, Benedict, Claflin, Morehouse, and Clark, and then perhaps Savannah State joining that, I see our league becoming stronger, way stronger with the addition of that university.
Well, I'll make no bones about it. I'm from the CIAA, and historically people always say CIAA is basketball, SIAC is football. I've had a laugh with a few of the coaches around the league. Those head-to-head matchups this year in basketball, the SIAC really made a point that you guys are not to be taken lightly in any sport.
No, our basketball, I think, has been underrated for many, many years. I think right now, the perception is now catching up with the reality. You know, we've been strong for some time now, and to me, the difference between this year and previous years is that I think our coaches and student athletes and programs are finally getting the recognition. But I've been here since 2009, and the first thing I noticed when I got here was how strong our men's and women's basketball programs were. I think the first year I recall them, either the first or second year, we had 4 teams in the tournament. So we've been kind of flying under the radar, and my job as commissioner of the league is to, you know, make us more front and center, increase the awareness and exposure of our student athletes and our institutions, and we're going to continue to try to do that by these kind of partnerships that we've had with HBCU Game Day.
Well, thanks a lot. Charles Ward is over our shoulder giving us the evil eye. He's ready to
tell Charles I can do some play-by-play, man. I can call him.
He said he can do your job, Charles.
Let me do a quarter. Let me do a half of play-by-play.
I don't know. I'll have to deal with him. See, I'll let you do it, but then I'll have to deal with Charles. He'll be in my ear all night.
Let me say this about Charles Ward. Charles Ward is done a phenomenal job. Very few people know our league as much as him. And when if you look at his game notes and preparation, I'm impressed because he doesn't mail it in, and he gives all these kids and all these schools 100% effort. So I want to thank him for his effort as an announcer. We look forward to continue to work with him.
All right, he is Gregory Moore, Commissioner of the SIAC. Commissioner, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Preparation, come on back over here. As we resume action here in the second half.
We're back to live action on the floor as Douglas goes left side for the lay-in. Thank you for handling that interview, Tolly. Great to have the commissioner on. I don't know what that was about. I don't have any money, so.
Look, I mean, he looked over here. He sees you have 3 different highlighters, 4 pins. I think you let my daughter color your roster over there. And I sheepishly looked away as I have 1 index card and a cell phone in front of me.
That just makes you a lot smarter. That's all. Thompson will work at left corner now to Charles. We're underway, second half of the men's championship ball game. Claflin with a 35-25 lead over the Panthers of Clark, Atlanta. Down at the block, they're trying to get it there to Charles. Good effort by Douglas, couldn't get to the basketball, and now a foul backside. I believe that's going to be Davis. And that will be Damien Davis picking up that foul.
His second. Yeah, his second there. And that's kind of been the story for Clark, Atlanta. They've had their fingertips on the ball, just like one more inch, and the possession could have taken a different turn.
You're right. You just get that sense. First half, the lid just closed for him. Shots that were just down in the cylinder popping out. And that one is indication that hopefully it won't continue for them that way in the second half, but that's the way it starts. Henry back out on the floor now for CAU. He'll replace Polydor in the lineup. Oh, no, he won't get Polydor. Looks like he's going to get Anthony Williams instead.
Yeah, well, let's see if the law of averages switches over here or if Claflin continues on the pace that they set in the first half, especially that strong ending to the first half.
Polydor, got to make our all-name team.
Polydor.
Charles got both free throws. Jamal Charles turning in a fine performance in this final or this championship ball game. He's got 14 points now. 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 19:06 left in the ball game. Henry, hard push, leans back with the jumper. Rimmer off the mark. Douglas missed on a crip putback. Mitchell had it taken away. Thompson going to go one-on-one now. He'll slide right side to the rack. You can't stop him in that kind of set.
They have to get buckets like that from Douglas. If you're the tallest player on the court and you're as close to the basket as that, you've got to put it down.
That. Absolutely right. We're at 18:43, 39-25 lead for the Panthers of Claflin now. Davis will square. Now Polydor on the weave to Mitchell. Mitchell slides underneath the rack. Davis got the rebound, missed on his putback, missed on his second effort. And now he'll get a whistle down low.
You see what Jaleel Charles does defensively when he's on the floor. He makes you rethink what you're going to do when you attack the basket.
Sure. Davis even there at the block with Charles. 2 efforts that were just minimized because of the fact that Charles was down there at the block.
He would have easily made that over a
Anybody
smaller
else?
player.
Sure. Davis with the first free throw. He dropped that. That's good for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So Davis with a second now. Spinner goes forward, and it's good for him.
Those 2 free throws look better than the last 2 we saw from him.
Yeah. The rim straighteners.
Yeah.
Thompson in the front court now for Claflin. They lead it 39-27. Everybody bunched up over there on that side of the floor just in the front of the Claflin bench. Now Williams back to the far side. 13 to shoot for Claflin. They're trying to push it to Charles if they can. Now 7 at the block. Charles is there, too deep on the pass. So the basketball back over to CAU. They can get something going here, maybe trying to create a little run. Henry slides the paint, left side, pushed it back in the corner, Mitchell. Now back out Polydor, squares, looks, shot it hard. They got a man down the floor. Charles just didn't see him.
Yeah, Polydor did. That's why he rushed back there to cut off any potential leak-out bucket.
Team still cold from behind the arc. Still 1 of 7 for Clark Atlanta. 1 of 8 now. They missed that shot. Now 1 of 6 for the Panthers of Claflin. Charles had it swatted by Davis. They're way away from the basket.
Could have easily picked up his third there had the official called it.
Sure. Benjamin Williams with the floater right side. That one's in and out of the cylinder, but he fights for the rebound now. They tie up Douglas in the backcourt.
All right, you got 2 guys on the floor. Somebody's got to be open.
Henry had his shot changed in flight by hustling Tristan Thompson, but in on the floater is Mitchell.
All right, there's a lot of fans here for Clark Atlanta. They're waiting for something to get up and yell about, and the Claflin crew would love for them to sit on their hands the rest of the way.
Sure, they lead it by 10, 39-29. Left side, Jordan Jones, hard move, left corner. Now we'll pull it back out front. 10 to shoot for Claflin. Charles to the rack right side and banked it over. That's good work and good touch on the shot there by Charles. They're asking something of him in this championship ball game. He's delivering. Right now with 16 in the ball game. Davis pushes, bounces, missed on the shot. Christian fights for the rebound. It'll go out of bounds off of him.
That's the difference. You can see Jaleel Charles, his hands just a little bit softer than Davis. Davis has the power, but when you get close to the basket like that, you need that soft touch.
Yes, sir. They call it finesse.
Yeah, word economy.
Yeah. We've been working on that all week, right?
I go back home next week, wife and 2 daughters. I won't have anything else to say. Get all my words out now.
Yeah, sure. Loose on the floor. Thompson clears 2-on-1. Thompson to the rack right side. Goaltend called on Davis. Panthers, the Claflin Panthers, are just so quick with their guards. Loose balls on the floor like that, those 50-50s, they generally come away with them.
And we're at that point. Is this going to become a back down to a 10-point lead, or is this going to become a 20-point lead? Dangerous territory here. 43-29
now. Davis, half-court set, pushes back out front. Polydor with the three-pointer, drains it. So, junior from Brooklyn, New York, knocks down a big three-pointer there. Polydor, his first points of the ball game. 11-point spread for Claflin. Albert Miller on the floor now for Claflin. He'll work it over to Tristan Thompson. He wanted to go inside, but a good denial there by Davis, but they got him away from the play now. And it'll stay on this side of the floor, and it'll be Henry with the foul. But kind of really a good decoy in there with a timeout on the floor, 15-34. We'll come back with more. Claflin leads it over Clark Atlanta.
His third.
Back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. We're at the men's championship ball game. 15:34 remaining in it. 43-32. The Panthers of Claflin with the lead. And they'll have the basketball just left of the cylinder. Charles looks to the inside. They push it back to him. Now bounce pass to Thompson. That one's in deep under the basket. It'll go out of bounds off of Clark Atlanta. And Claflin with another look now. They'll have 17 to shoot here. And it'll be Johnson, Panther Johnson on the floor, inbounding it. Out front, Tristan Thompson. Johnson with 10 on the shot clock. Across the floor, Miller. Now 6. Thompson, he'll square, fire from way outside. Missed on the shot, but the rebound to Johnson. And a whistle.
Fouls on 3, Akil Douglas.
That's his third there.
Douglas with the third.
You look down that Clark Atlanta bench, who can come in and make a difference?
Douglas with 3, Mitchell with 3, and Henry with 3 personals. 15:05, you got to leave everything out on the court, so it'll just be an issue of when Coach Walker, if they get any deeper in foul trouble, keeps them on the floor, takes them out. Out front, Charles calling for the basketball. Left side, Johnson. Now Albert Miller in the corner. Back up, Johnson. He'll square, fire a three-pointer. Looks good, but he's off to the right. Davis clears for Clark Atlanta. Up the floor now, Polydor. Right corner to Mitchell. Now Davis squares, foul line extended, missed on the shot. Had a look at the rebound and a whistle. We're going back the other way, and they're going to get Davis for the foul.
Yep, he missed it, and he was like, oh, I got to get in there and make up for that miss.
So that's his third. Now Vigilance will report back into the lineup.
Number 15 for both sides, Michael Vigilance and Jared Gassett.
And Jared Gassett on the floor now for the Panthers of Claflin. So the switch brings a switch. Coach Jackson going to give a break as Davis goes off the floor. Tristan Thompson circles. Now Johnson up top. Shot clock at 8. Thompson now, hard head fake. Now he'll take a push right side to the rack. Got it airborne, missed on the shot. Tap gives it to Christian, fresh 30 for Claflin.
50-50's going to Claflin.
Just took the words right out of my mouth, Tolly. Albert Miller, he'll take a hard push right side underneath. 13:52, turnover by Albert Miller on the travel. Gives it back to Clark Atlanta.
Sure, Akil Douglas was holding his breath when he heard that whistle.
Sure.
Did I give him a hip check?
You just want to go invisible when you hear them and you know you're in foul trouble. Anthony Williams works at left side Polydor now. 13:40 left in his championship ball game. Douglas at the block. They're trying to take advantage of his height. Now they push it across the floor. Williams, 10 to shoot. Mitchell with the jumper. Missed on the shot. And he's fouled after the shot, I believe.
Yes, he's going to go to the line.
That was on 2, Timothy Christian. That is his third.
So Christian picks up his third, and it'll be Mitchell shooting 3. He was in the process of the three-point shot. Little Charles at the edge of the bench for the Panthers of Claflin getting some stretching in. Comes up, looked like he's showing a little bit of favoritism to that left leg a bit as he goes back to the bench now.
Yeah, when he gets on the court, he'll be back up to speed.
Funny how that happens, isn't it? Tyler Thompson on the floor. He'll replace his brother Tristan. Benjamin Williams on the floor. He'll replace the other Trey, Albert Trey Miller in the lineup. 13:30 remains.
Thinking to myself, if Claflin wins and I do my post-game interviews, I got to get my distinction between Tyler and Tristan. Tristan is 4.
Yeah, you're in trouble if they put the
championship
shirts on. You're done. You better get them both at the same time.
I'm here with Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, sure. Either one of you, whoever cares to answer. Christian with a floater, finger roll right side, nicely done by him.
George Gervin there.
Yeah. Got that kind of Gervin build about him too, doesn't he? Yeah. Polydor brings a 3 there for Clark Atlanta. This may be the push they're looking for here. 45-38, Claflin with the lead. Tyler Thompson across the timeline.
That was enough for the crowd. They're starting to liven up a bit.
Johnson out front now. He'll take a screen, left side, back to Benjamin Williams. Williams with 11 to shoot now for Claflin. Hard push by him, stops, pops, and a whistle. Blocking foul down low. And that's going to go against Vigilance. So Vigilance, he picks up his third. So everybody on the floor right now for Clark Atlanta with 3 personals except for Polydor. Williams with the first free throw. That one is off the mark. They were 6 of 7 prior to that one. Now Coach Jackson going very small. As Tristan comes out of the lineup, he's replaced by Brandon Davis. Davis at 6 feet, 6'1". Williams with the second of 2. That one looks short as well. 12:30 left in the basketball game. We'll see if the Panthers can make a run of this. Now they push it across the floor. Mitchell for 3. Missed it. Tyler Williams clears for Claflin. Quick step for him across the timeline.
That shot could have cut it to 4, which would have been huge. Doesn't feel like it's anywhere near being
as close as it is. You're right. On the wave, Williams. We're at 12:05 remaining. Davis threw it away. Threw it right over to Mitchell for Clark Atlanta. He'll spin inside the paint, lost a handle on it, now pushes Davis. Douglas for 3. That one's an air ball. Basketball's loose. Another 50-50 going to Claflin.
That one well short by Douglas. He had an excellent look. He was wide open.
And they play on. Team's kind of quiet in terms of scoring here. Last few seconds, last minute and a half maybe. Williams now cross dribble by him inside the paint, right hand floater. He got it back for Claflin.
That 3-man weave at the top of the key kind of lulled Clark Atlanta to a sleep there, and then they attacked.
Right side, Douglas pops out, foul line extended, and drains one for Clark Atlanta. Nice job by him. Douglas now with 10 in the ball game. 47-40. Claflin with the lead and the basketball. We're approaching 11 minutes remaining.
There they go again.
Davis now gives it to Williams. They've got 10 to shoot. They can get serious about things now. Williams, hard cross dribble right side in the corner. Davis, head fake, dumped it down to Williams at the block. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
That play seems to be a staple in Ricky Jackson's offense. A lot of motion at the top of the key, and then they make up their mind how they're going to attack you.
10:48. That's our TV timeout. 47-40. Panthers of Claflin lead it. We'll step out for the timeout. Back with more here. Men's Championship from the SIAC Tournament live on HBCU Game Day. Back live, Bill Harris Arena. We've been here all week long. Started with the setup on Sunday.
Yes.
With the production side of things and play on Monday. It's been a grind all week. Tolly Carr.
Man, I drove up here in the rain. It's been hot. It's been cold. It's been rain. We've seen it all this week in Birmingham.
Sure. Toby Durham from Raleigh, not used to this kind of weather.
No, man.
Williams with that free throw.
I discovered the Rainbow Bridge in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I discovered that the frappe machine at McDonald's goes down in Birmingham as well.
Yeah, you can count on that every now and then.
Why don't they just get 2 in every store? Just go to the backup when it breaks down.
You happy about what you pay for a frappe right now?
Yeah.
If you put 2 in there, your price is going to go up.
It was my championship treat. I didn't get it.
Davis. They try to get it down at the block. Johnson took it away. Good defensive work by him. So Coach Jackson, after the timeout, staying small on the floor. Right corner, Johnson with the basketball. Pushes back out front, Davis. 16 to shoot for Claflin. 10-13 left in the ball game. On the weave, that's Williams. He'll attack with 9. Head fake by him, can't get airborne. Now Tyler Thompson hard to the rack right side. Missed on the floater. Bissett with the rebound. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Just that angle right through the middle of the lane has been open here all second half for Claflin.
Bissett, the junior from Memphis, shooting here. Did not play in the semifinal in the ball game, but he had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block in the quarterfinal outing. Missed on the first.
So through the first 10 minutes of the second half, Clark Atlanta has outscored Claflin by 4 because they were down 13 at the break. They're going to have to turn up the intensity even more here in the final 10 minutes.
A set for the second of 2. Got that one to fall. Lead back to 10 now for Claflin. They jump full court pressure now. Williams back out on the floor for CAU. So is Henry. Right side Mitchell. They're trying to get it to Douglas. Got him there. Williams there. That's a mismatch in size. Davis mismatch with Gassett inside, but they don't take advantage of it. Now Douglas pops out with 7 to shoot. Raises, fires, drains it to Clark Atlanta. Douglas with those long arms and lanky body. He knocked down that jumper. He's got 12. Right side Williams. He's doubled there. Now across the floor they go to Davis. Slides in the paint with the floater, and that's good body control there by Brandon Davis, the freshman.
Clark applied some pressure there. Thought maybe they were going to pick up the charge, but it was a no-go.
Down low, Douglas is free, and Johnson going to go for the steal, and he's fouled.
Fouls on 31, Tucker Johnson. That is his first team score.
Non-shooting foul there for Clark Atlanta. Right of the cylinder. It'll be Anthony Williams, the senior from Brooklyn, New York, to inbound it. We approach 9 minutes left in the ball game. Pushes in the corner Mitchell. On the move to the rack. Challenged. Got the rebound back to the rack. This one's off the mark, but he's fouled this time. He'll go to the line.
Fouls on 15.
Coach Jackson seemingly content to keep what's in there as long as he does not see a counter from Coach Walker bringing in his players. Right now, you're right, Polly. Things are kind of staying the way that they are.
Yeah,
with
he's
both
only
these lineups
he's
out
only
there.
-3 on the half right now, and that's not too bad.
Helps when you start out ahead, huh?
That's what we talked about the end of right at halftime. So you have that buffer. So if you have a little bit of slippage, you got some room to work with there.
Now he goes to his bench, and Charles is back out on the floor. So now they got that deep threat on the inside as Mitchell drains both free throws for Clark Atlanta. Full court pressure now. Throw up the floor to Williams. Williams across the timeline. Brandon Davis out front now. He'll work it to the post to Charles. Left it behind for Tyler Thompson. Thompson to the rack. High off the glass. Missed on the shot. Clark Atlanta now. 52-44 their trail. Here comes Douglas down the floor. Now Williams back to the post. Right side. Turns. Floater is good by Damien Davis.
And it might come down to him just having to take the ball right to the chest of Jaleel Charles.
Bounce pass, basketball's kicked.
You've seen him so much think about, okay, where is Jaleel Charles? What is he doing? How can I get something done without having to deal with him? But that time right there, just taking it directly to him paid off.
Charles to inbound it now. Looks inside, goes in the corner, and they lose the basketball. Off of the hands of Davis, so that's a turnover. This could be the spark here for Clark Atlanta. Let's see what they do. They strip down the floor.
Well, next dead ball is probably going to be a timeout. or will be for the dead ball timeout, under 8. Coach Jackson might be looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Mitchell out front to Davis. Hard push by him through the paint. Whistles on the play. He's going to be fouled.
And I think that might be what Clark Atlanta has to do. Damien Davis has been getting the ball in the high post looking for another teammate, but he has seen success the last couple times just putting his head down and going to the basket. Sometimes you draw up something and you want that to work. Other times you got to
Sure. Hey.
call an audible.
You're in there. Go at it. Davis with the first. Boy, missed badly on that one to his left. Now Jordan Jones back out on the floor for the Panthers of Claflin. One more free throw coming for Damien Davis. We're at 8:02 left in this championship ball game.
Inching a little closer. This would make it just a 5-point deficit.
Second free throw is true. It's good there. 52-47.
Full court pressure by the Panthers. Haven't heard a lot from Jones out of Claflin this half.
Not yet. Just getting back on the floor. Let's see if he can get back into that offensive mix. Right corner now. Johnson for 3. Boy, that's a big basket there by the lefty. Johnson bangs it home in the right corner. 55-47. Claflin with the lead. Henry out front now. Jones spreading wide on defense. Davis in the paint, slides across, puts it down in the corner. That's Williams pushing the 3, side of the rim there, and basketball over to Claflin.
Yeah, Williams hasn't been able to find his stroke here. The senior doesn't have much more career remaining here at Clark Atlanta. He'd love to get going before this one gets over.
Right side now, Tristan Thompson handles a pass. They're trying to screen it to get it down low to Charles if they can. They go across the floor instead. Johnson again for 3. This one's off the mark. Henry pushes left side, and a whistle.
Let's see who this will be against.
Call that foul on Convict Johnson. It'll come with 7:01 remaining in the basketball game. Timeout on the floor. Claflin leading at 55-47. Final 7 minutes and 1 second remaining in this championship ball game. Clark Atlanta trailing it 55-47. Shelvick Henry, the junior from Wabasa, Florida, on the line now for Clark Atlanta, trying to cut into that lead.
Just looking through Twitter here, I see over in the CIAA, Virginia Union swept on the men's and women's side. Clark Atlanta win here could be a sweep on this side as well, but they still have some work to do.
Henry with that first free throw makes it 55-48. Rattled on the second one, and it spins good for him. So Henry now with 5 points in this ball game. They show full court pressure. Jones, bounce pass, and a foul in the backcourt. Davis going to get him, I believe. That'll be 4 on him.
He and Henry right now talking about those defensive assignments on that trapping pressure. I remember yesterday, Coach Walker talked about how good Akil Douglas was at the head of the trap.
Tristan Thompson.
May have to have him in there as a part of it now, as that fourth is picked up on Damien Davis.
Yeah, that's the aggressive side of the trap the head. You're really trying to turn the ball over in the backcourt. Playing defense more is kind of a free safety when you play on the backside of that pressure.
Thompson hits the first free throw. Tristan Thompson has been steady as she goes for the Panthers of Claflin throughout this tournament.
Looking down at the bench, I think you almost have to stay with what you got, 4 fouls or not.
Sure. I think that's going to be the decision of Coach Walker, just to let him stay and play as long as he can. Second free throw is missed there by Thompson. Henry back the other way now. Under duress, but got it over to Williams. We're under 7 minutes left in the championship ball game. Mitchell now got a lane to the basket, inside. Nice body movement by him to get the basket.
Had to jump around
Indeed.
Charles. 5-point game.
Mitchell with 12. 6:30 remains in the contest now. Winner is SIAC champion. Tyler Thompson over to Johnson. They push it to Jordan Jones behind the arc. Now across the floor. At the block to go to Charles. Charles to the rack, got the lay-in. May have got the foul there as well, but no call.
Yeah, you gotta beat him in positioning down that low, because once he gets it, trouble. Dead ahead.
Mitchell on the move now. Spins in the paint, pulls back out. We're at 6 minutes now. Davis surveys. 12 for Clark to shoot. At the block, Douglas pushing off a bit, got the space he needed, and he banked it home.
Yeah, he can create space. He can elevate over anyone. He's the tallest player out there, probably the tallest player. I haven't seen anybody here this week taller than him when they match up side by side.
Douglas at 6'10". Tyler Thompson half-court set now for Claflin. Johnson squares, pushes Jones. Across the floor they go to Thompson. Now top Jones, 6 to shoot. On the move, Johnson, floater in the paint, missed on the shot. Charles with the rebound, fights at the block, and he's going to be fouled. It'll be Henry. If it's Henry, that's going to be his 4th.
Well, Akil Douglas was down there battling for position with Jaleel Charles, but as soon as he went to help out on defense, that left Charles wide open for that rebound. So it was a pick your poison type thing.
Sure. Now Benjamin Williams back out on the floor now for the Panthers of Claflin. .5:19 left in this basketball game. 5-point lead for Claflin over Clark Atlanta. Charles with free throws here. 4 of 5 from the line. Missed on the front end there of the 1-and-1.
That's not the friendly rim of the two. This one has been more favorable towards everyone.
And they play on with 5:07 left now. Williams behind the arc, top of the key, that's Henry. Guarded by Tyler Thompson. Douglas foul on extended, missed on the shot. Rebound, Charles and the Panthers of Claflin now. Charles with his 9th rebound as Tyler Thompson comes across the timeline. Claflin trying to work back into that weave where they can burn some time off the clock, then look for the shot around 10.
And then find a soft spot in the defense.
Tristan Thompson now at 10. Let's see if they get it in the hands of Benjamin Williams. They do. He'll spin hard left side in the corner. Johnson squares for 3. Missed on the shot. Rebound, and we're going to have a whistle down low. Charles this time guilty.
Over the back of Double D, Damien Davis. See Lynn Dawson, he's at the, he can't take it. He left his seat. He's standing at the top of the stairs.
4:28 left in the basketball game now. And at the line, the Panthers of Clark Atlanta already in that 1-and-1 with Damien Davis shooting.
Chance to cut it to 3. Davis hasn't had a stellar night from the free throw line. He should have hit a few, but some of them have been wide.
On the night, Davis is 3 of 6 from the line. First one is good.
Seems like it's either all nets or
sure, feast or famine with him.
There you go.
One more coming. Lead at 4 right now for Claflin. When he needs them, well, he missed on the second one. He hit the front end of that one and had a chance to get them both there. And has usually missed the first and then gotten the second. Did the reverse this time.
Well, that was a better looking miss than some of the other misses he's had today.
If you could have such a thing as a better looking miss.
It's encouraging.
4:10 remains. Across the floor, Williams at the block, Charles. He's there, gave it up. Tyler Thompson, foul line extended, and he drops it for the Panthers of Claflin. Surprised Charles that deep inside the paint, and he pushed it back out. But Thompson from the free throw line, and he got it. That was Tyler with the basket. He's got 7. Out front now, Henry raises, fires a three-pointer, shot it hard. Rebound fought for. Johnson cleared it, and Claflin with the basketball.
And this win would mean so much for Claflin. They don't have a football program, so during the fall they don't have that big money sport like a lot of the other schools to try to get a championship in. This would be the biggest trophy in their case this year.
Indeed, no question about it. It'll be their first SIAC championship too if they can get it. It's at 3:20 remaining. They lead it 60-54. Williams, he'll go head fake now. Challenges Douglas. Douglas blocked the shot, but Williams got the rebound. He'll fight it back up, and this time they're going to call jump ball. And one official called jump ball, the other called shot clock violation. That'll really favor Claflin if they go with his call on it.
Timeout on the floor.
3:13 remains. 60-54. Media timeout here. We'll take the break with it. This is HBCU game day coverage of the SIAC basketball tournament. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remains in the championship ball game. The women's trophy already been lifted by the Lady Panthers of Clark Atlanta University. They win it 71-70 over the Lady Marauders of Central State. Congratulations to Coach Yolanda Moore and the Lady Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Their men trying to follow suit in final championship play against the Panthers of Claflin, and right now Claflin leading it 60-54. Clark Atlanta with the basketball. Williams up the floor now. He'll handle. Behind the arc, they left him alone. He'll push a three-point shot there off the mark. Benjamin Williams runs it down for the Panthers of Claflin now. We go under 3 minutes left in the basketball game. They jump Williams out front near the timeline. Left side and a whistle. They'll get Anthony Williams with the foul for Clark Atlanta. That's his first. But it sends Claflin to the line at the double bonus now, shooting. The 2 here for Tyler Thompson. So Thompson can make it an 8-point ball game. Claflin from the line, 10 of 16.
Shadows are starting to get long. The sun is starting to set, Charles.
It certainly is. Under 3 minutes left. You got to make your own daylight.
Checking in number 1.
Polydor on the floor now. He replaces Anthony Williams. Tyler Thompson with a second free throw coming. He got them both from the line. Make it 62-54. Full court pressure now. Mitchell handle in the backcourt for CAU. Over to Henry. Henry across the timeline, 2:35. You know these are going to be some exciting final seconds of this ball game. Clark Atlanta with no quit in them. Henry to the rack, got it airborne, and he got it over the outstretched arms of the Panther defense. 62-56. Henry with a tough basket there. 7 in the ball game for him. Tristan Thompson out front now for Claflin. They spread the floor. Tyler handles right side.
The clock now the friend of Claflin in a big way.
Thompson on the move, and he'll draw the foul from Mitchell. The Panthers of Claflin will take this kind of set all game long with what remains of it. They spread that floor. They're already in the bonus with these quicker guards. They're either going to get a basket or know they're going to get a foul.
Number 4, Tristan Thompson for 2 shots.
62-52. The other Thompson to the line this time, Tristan. Tristan 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Got the first. Jaleel Charles back out on the floor now. He'll replace Timothy Christian in the lineup. He gets a high five from Coach Terrence Jackson.
And Coach Jackson, from his school, is Virginia Union, correct?
You're absolutely right.
This could be a doubly sweet day for him.
Sure.
Alma mater gets a win. You get a win.
Boy, news good all the way around. And think about it. If Jackson wins this final ball game, he'll go through that gauntlet through the championships here. In the quarterfinals, they met Lane College. Then they beat Morehouse College. And in the championship, to beat Clark Atlanta if they are able to do it. That's a tough pass to make there. Henry with the basket there makes it 64-58. Right side, Tristan Thompson now. They're going to try to spread that floor again. They do. We're at 1:46 left. Thompson now sliding on the move, pushes back out to Tyler. Davis being pushed out, trap out front Williams. This is what the Panthers of Claflin University really want. There's Williams to the rack, no foul there, and we're going back the other way.
Fouls on Charles.
That's his fourth.
Yeah, at this point, unless we get into an overtime situation here.
You got to burn it now. You got to leave it out there.
He's not going anywhere.
Henry shooting the basketball from, it'll be Polydor shooting for Clark Atlanta.
Yeah, this will be a big 2 right here.
Make it a 4-point ball game. Hold on to your seats. Polydor got the first. Trying to see if that's the right person to foul is assessed against. They may change that. We'll see. No, they're not. Well, second shot there for Polydor. Polydor rattled the second good. They'll jump into full court pressure now. Thompson doubled there. Over to Johnson. Now up the floor, Tristan Thompson right side. Will be doubled. He'll push inside the paint and push it back out front. Williams doubled, pushes to Tyler Thompson. Claflin good at this in terms of that spread floor. Now Williams over to Johnson. He'll make a move toward the rack. Try to dump it down low for Charles. Too fancy for that situation, and he threw it away. Henry on the push now. Left it at the corner. Polydor saves it. Douglas fires a three-pointer. That's an air ball.
He's had 2 air ball threes here in the second half.
Dangerous pass that trip down the floor by Johnson. They had the lead. Trying to do a little lead behind there for Jaleel Charles. Timeout taken. We're under a minute remaining in this basketball game. This one, like the rest of them, Tolly, coming down to the end.
I think Claflin is going to use up all of this 30 seconds. If things play out, you have enough time for 2 possessions. Clark Atlanta's going to have to create some possessions because that's not enough. But that miss there, and with the air ball, you don't even get an opportunity for a rebound because it goes out of bounds.
59 seconds left in this basketball game. They'll have the full 30 seconds, as you indicate, Tolly, on that shot clock as you look at that ball movement by the Panthers and that half-court set for them.
The ball never touched the ground one time.
Sure.
No one ever dribbled the ball. It was 4 passes and a bucket.
Another look here. Across that perimeter. And it results this time with Charles going in underneath. You do yourself a great service when you're able to move that basketball around the floor.
Without dribbling.
Half-court set here for the Panthers underneath, and they get a good favorable roll there.
Yeah, Sheldon Henry taking it hard. So, Charles, do you play good defense and eat up 30 seconds of the clock here and try to make a quick bucket and then go to the foul game?
Well, I think that's what's going to happen here at Clark Atlanta. Surely, I don't think they're going to foul too early in this set. They're going to see if they can't get something natural in terms of a turnover before they have to panic and then start fouling. But it'll be the Panthers of Claflin having to go the length of the floor here. They lead it by 4. Surely, Clark Atlanta going to step it up now with full court pressure as Charles gets set to inbound the basketball. Final seconds here of the men's championship ball game. Charles got it to Williams in the backcourt. He's doubled. And Williams now pushes back to Charles. Back to Williams. And they go across the timeline. Williams out front over to Charles. Charles had it. It'll come back down to Claflin. 16 now. Williams doubled out front. Steps through that. Goes across the floor to Tyler Thompson. 40 seconds left. Now Tristan Thompson going to be fouled.
Coach Walker does not like that. Why would we play defense for that long only to foul? If we were going to foul, we'd do that right away.
Absolutely. Anthony Williams set to come back into the basketball game. At the line, it's going to be Tristan Thompson, and Thompson can do the work here at the free throw line. The challenge or the hill for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta just got a lot steeper. Henry fouls out of the basketball game. That's one of their three-point threats, but what they need here with the 39 seconds remaining. Thompson, big free throws here. First is good. 65-60. Already a 2-possession game here for Claflin. One more. They'll stay there, but it'll be a 6-point differential. They need 2 3-pointers. Thompson got them both from the line. Clark Atlanta now across the timeline. Polydor, hard push by him to the rack left side, left it short. And a whistle down low. My, oh my.
A little late.
Almost incredible call there.
You're going to make the call, make it. But it looks almost as if they wait to see the result of the action.
Sure.
Then make the call.
Sure, 32 seconds left. Polydor to the line. He was down on the floor and almost getting up before that call was made. Polydor shooting here, though. Got the first for Clark Atlanta. 32 seconds left. Clark Atlanta looking for its 6th title as a program. Panthers of Claflin joining the conference in 2008, looking for their first. Polydor shot the second hard. Jaleel Charles had it, and it comes to Williams at the baseline. Whistles, and he's fouled in the backcourt. That is indicative of what this game has been about all game long, Tolly. Clark Atlanta with a fingertip on that ball, just not able to pull it in.
Exactly.
And Claflin able to just corral it. So Damien Davis fouls out. Now Vigilance into the lineup for CAU. And Coach Terrence Jackson and his troops with 27 seconds remaining, free throws here, will take them into that stage where they can start almost celebrating on that sideline.
They are feeling it, that's for sure, trying to keep it contained, but the more they hit free throws and the more Clark Atlanta misses them here, it's going to become inevitable here in a few seconds.
You asked a sterling question in the pregame about this team from Claflin. So much going on in terms of the flip-flop with rankings and then the play on the east side about who the team really is that's best there. And at the end of the day, the answer might be going to Orangeburg, South Carolina. Whistles in the backcourt. Williams underneath Mitchell. That'll send Mitchell to the line because he will have done it during the course of the season, defeated Morehouse, gave them their first loss of the season. They split during the regular season. They split with Clark Atlanta. You come to the tournament, and they take them both out.
Yeah, so they get the – it's not done yet, but it looks like they're going to get the automatic bid. Morehouse's resume speaks for itself. I personally think Clark Atlanta resume
speaks for
itself as well. So Benedict came up short. They're not going to get in, but I can see 3.
Both missed free throws there. Mitchell has to push a 3 out front. The spinner's off the mark again. Charles will clear over to Williams. 17 seconds left now. Everything from this point on is going to be pretty academic because Claflin has come to Birmingham with a mission in mind. And with just 16 seconds left, it appears to be mission accomplished.
Yep, Coach Ricky Jackson and his crew on the right side of this business trip to Birmingham.
Damien Davis
At the line as Mitchell fouls out now. It'll be Samson Aquilo on the floor for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta.
They have found magic in the Magic City.
Indeed they did. Williams with the free throw. Benjamin Williams with 13 in the ball game. Tristan Thompson with 11. Jaleel Charles, 18 rebounds, 18 points, 10 rebounds. He gets the double-double. And he certainly is going to be a strong candidate for the conference tournament MVP. You also got to consider Tristan Thompson as well for Claflin. 12 now remaining in the championship ball game. Polidor still playing, leads back, shot a jumper hard there. Got his own rebound. Back out Williams, hoists the three, and he can't convert. So that'll do it. At the end of regulation, it is the Panthers of Claflin University winning at 69-61 over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So no double championship for Clark Atlanta. The women win, but the men get denied. Coach Darrell Walker won it last year for Clark Atlanta in his first year. He'll come up short this year. This year, the championship trophy goes to Orangeburg, South Carolina. It goes to head coach Ricky Jackson in his fourth year. It goes to athletics director Dr. Jerome Fitch, and it goes to all of those young men for Claflin University there at that sideline celebrating their championship win over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Just an outstanding tournament for Coach Ricky Jackson. Without a doubt, he certainly is tournament coach, most valuable coach with the job he's done. He knocked down the two biggest dragons in the SIAC in Morehouse College and Clark Atlanta coming into this championship, and they do it in tournament play. They win it. Outstanding job for him and the players on that team. Tristan Thompson, Jaleel Charles, Jordan Jones being inserted into the starting lineup after the injury to Austin Lawton. Benjamin Trey Williams, he did an outstanding job as well. You survey that roster, it's going to be a big question as to which of those players is the MVP of this tournament. They celebrate here in Birmingham, the folks from Claflin. And I know online the folks that are faithful to Claflin celebrating there as well.
Okay, guys, we're going to try
Ollie Carr somewhere on the floor, try to see
down here.
and find somebody to wait for that team to break the huddle.
All right. We're here with Jaleel Charles. Jaleel, tell me what this means, this big win. First SIAC.
They mean everything. Last year we went out. This year I came back. I said, we're going to try to win it. And I told Coach, we're going to do it. And look at it. I believe in every man over here. It was a great win for the start. My team followed through me, and they continue to play. It was hard, but we fought through.
You've been in foul trouble earlier in this week. Tonight was a night where you really got to stay out on the floor. How big was that for you?
I mean everything. I just want them to man upstairs. I swear, I just want them to man upstairs. I'm lost for words right now.
Coach Jackson, Ricky Jackson, what does he mean for you? How does it make you feel to get a win for him?
I told him I was going to get him a win. I told him before the summer started I was going to get him a win. And I make sure as I go out, I got him one.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Jaleel Charles. He's a SIAC champion. Let's walk around some more if you guys will just be patient here. I think I can find these Thompson twins over here. This is Tyler Thompson. Tyler, you and your brother and the rest of your teammates, the rest of your brothers got to win. How does it feel?
Feel good. We've been talking about this all season. We got a lot of seniors on the team. We just made sure everybody stay together. We had one goal this year just to win the championship, and we did it.
How hard was it? How tough was the game tonight against Clark?
It was tough. Clark a good team. We just had to come out and execute. And, we did what we had to do, made free throws, boxed out. We just did what we had to do.
You guys beat Morehouse twice, the only team in the country to do it. You now beat Clark twice. Are you guys the best team in the SIAC?
Man, y'all seen it for yourself.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth there. Hold tight, guys. I will see if I can find brother Tristan. We just talked to Tyler. Let's take a look around here. A lot of emotion.
From Clark
Big
Atlanta
spread.
University, a 6'10" senior forward. From San Jose,
Tristan
California,
is trying to
number
gather
30,
himself.
Akil
He's
Douglas.
overcome with happiness here on the bench. All the players are kind of taking selfies right now. Let's see, can I slide right here? I'm sorry.
From Claflin University, a 5'9".
All right, Tristan Thompson. He's getting the award right now. We'll hang with him. We'll hang as he goes and gets his crystal up. He's posing with Commissioner Moore. We'll get him with the hardware, Toby, as soon as he go over here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 SIAC men's basketball.
Let's see who's going to be the MVP award announced. It's going to Jaleel Charles. How about that? You got on my case earlier about calling Jaleel Charles the best big man in the conference. So I got to eat my words. You just won conference tournament MVP.
Yes, sir. So it speaks for itself. His body of work speaks for
And now,
itself.
ladies and gentlemen,
Tell me what this feels like. Well, they're about to call you up here. Well, no, they're not. No, they're not. Tell me what this feels like.
Well, it feels great. You know, when Dr. Tisdale, 5 years ago, I told him I was going to get it done. Got it done.
On interview, he said he was going to get it. Look at this behind. Oh, man. Hang with us, folks. It's all just spontaneous here. We'll see if we can get Coach Jackson for one more second. We'll walk back. Coach, it's doubly sweet here. Virginia Union wins the CIAA today. You get a win.
I'm an alum, and I'm an alum, so I'm proud. I'm a proud man today. So, and congratulations to Jay and Fred for doing a good job at Union. And I'm proud of you guys. And thumbs up to my mentor, Coach Robbins.
Absolutely. One of the great legends in CIAA basketball, college basketball altogether. Tell me about your kids, what this means for how you feel to see them celebrate.
Well, it feels good. You know, their preseason was tough. I made it very tough because I just felt like we fell short the last couple of years. So I made it very tough, and they answered the call all season long.
Is this the best team, without question, in the SIAC?
Oh, no question. No question. From start to finish. From start to finish. Even though, you know, we had some bumps in the road, I just felt like we were built to win this thing. Even with, you know, Big Austin going down, I never, you know, thought that we, you know, not get it done.
A lot of HBCU fans think the season ends when the conference tournament is over. You guys get the automatic bid. How important is it for you to continue to play well going into the Division II tournament?
Well, it means a lot, and you know, we're not done yet. You know, we'll celebrate this tonight, get a couple days off, and we'll get back at work and get ready for next weekend.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
All right, that's Ricky Jackson. He said, hands down, this is the team in the SIAC. I think we have the Dr. Tisdale. He's taking a photo. As soon as he finishes with the photo, I'll slide in here and get a interview with him. Hold tight for me. We're good. We're good. Just hold tight. Boy, it's so funny when you can just shake hands with your boss after winning the championship. That's got to be a pretty good handshake and a smile. Take a look behind me here. You see the celebration. And we'll get Dr. Tisdale in just a second here. They have that banner there showing that they are number one. All right, hashtag Crystal up for sure. Celebrating the 2018 SIAC Championship is Claflin University, are the first ever. Hey there, what's your name?
Markayla.
All right, you're a cheerleader. Markayla, what does it feel like for you? You put in a lot of work. You girls have been here all week.
Yes, it's amazing.
Are you at a loss for words? Yeah. Go get in that picture right there. It's much more important than talking to me. Go get in there. All right, everybody's taking pictures here, Toby. We're gonna get an interview here. I promise. I promise. But what a game it was. Your final score, 69-61. Claflin with the win over the defending SIAC champions of Clark Atlanta University. Dr. Tisdale? All right, we're here with Claflin's president, Dr. Tisdale. How proud of you are these guys right here winning tonight?
It's a proud feeling, and I've never been any prouder and pleased to see young men who deserve it so well, worked hard, and to be able to take the trophy home. It's a proud day on a hilltop high.
The first SIAC championship for Claflin, that's got to be a great feeling as well.
It is the first one. It won't be the last one. We expect to be on top for a long time. We'll be back.
Coach Ricky Jackson told me that when you hired him, he promised he was going to get this.
Well, he said he would do it. I saw the progress. I was getting a little patient, but this time he's delivered. And when you say you can do it and you do it, he's the man. He's our man.
In basketball this year, there was a lot of talk about Morehouse, well-deserved. A lot of talk about Clark Atlanta. You guys were kind of in the wings a little bit from an attention standpoint, but here standing tall at the end is Claflin.
We knew all along that the SIAC Championship would have to come through Claflin University on a hilltop high.
Well, congratulations, Dr. Tisdale. Enjoy this one tonight.
Thank you very much. It's a great one. It's a great day.
All right, Dr. Henry Tisdale says it is a great, great night. And boy, it is a lot of jubilation here. It's not often that you get to win a SIAC championship, and when you have never done it before, oh my gosh, here's a guy here that hit some big shots. Mr. Jones here. Tell me about that game tonight, how tough it was against Clark Atlanta.
Clark Atlanta is a great team. I just want to thank God for giving us this chance to come in and play our game and play a hard-fought game. Both teams are really good, and the best team won tonight.
You hit some big shots in that semifinal game last night. What has this ride been like? This conference has been so tough. A lot of people talk about Morehouse, talk about Clark Atlanta. They're great schools, but you guys beat the two of them more than anyone else in the country.
Man, this conference is a great conference. I love playing in it. I'm thankful for Coach Jack for giving me that chance. And, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words right now. And I just thank everybody on the team. Everybody played hard. Clark Atlanta showed up tonight. They gave us a run for our money. So, that's all I can say.
I out-talked him. I out-interviewed him. He ran out of words here. We'll go along here. I do have one more Thompson to talk to. Okay, here he is. We're going to get Tristan because we did get Tyler. Let's jump right in here. Tristan, you almost got away from us here, brother. Tristan, tell us, you have the trophy in your hand. Tell us what this means.
This means a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming. Starting in August, man, this means a lot, man. I'm telling you, we've been through it all. Been through it all through the first part of the season, on to the second part. We had our trials and tribulations, but we managed to maintain. We kept our composure and just, I don't even know, this feels good for real. I ain't never had no championship, so I'm just feeling lovely right now.
All right, you and your brother, one of the most unique stories in college basketball, playing alongside your twin brother. What is that like, and to win a championship with him?
Man, it feel good, man. We split up 2 times, man, for the first 2 years, man. I led this man to death, man. It's my right-hand man. To win a championship with him, I love it, man. I love it. I don't even know what to say, man. I just love it. Can't describe this feeling right now. Never had it for 2 years. Never had a championship, man. This feels great, man. It feels great.
All right, there's more basketball to be played. You guys get the automatic qualifier into the Division II playoffs. I know there's a lot of emotion when you win your conference championship. Tell me your thoughts about what lies ahead.
No, we just want to take it one game at a time like we've been doing the whole tournament. Just taking one time. Coach always told us since the first part, taking one game at a time. We want to know each game, so that's how we're going to take it on to the next one. We're going to try to be 1-0 next game.
I asked your brother this question. I'm going to ask you. You guys beat Morehouse twice. You beat Clark Atlanta a couple of times. Is there any question who the best team in the SIAC is?
First of all, I want to say Clark is a good team. Morehouse is a good team. All the teams in the SIAC are good teams. You know, we just managed to come out on top. But we the best right now. We number one, baby.
All right, congratulations and good luck on what's to come.
I appreciate it.
All right, those are the Thompson twins, Tristan and Tyler. I'm so glad that they didn't put those shirts on, as Charles said they might have, so I was able to tell number 4 from number 3. I'll come back and join you here. We can kind of put a button on everything that we've done. Just give me my headsets right here. Toby, put them on my head here. I got my hands full.
Working the floor, getting all the post-game championship coverage for the Panthers of Claflin University as they win their first SIAC title, and a very happy bunch from Claflin University, and a job well done by that coaching staff and the players in this tournament.
I'm beat.
I know you are, yeah.
I mean, we did not have, there was anticipation, there was butterflies in every single game that was left for the last 2.5 days. We did not have a dog game at all. Those snooze are like, oh my gosh, it's a blowout.
Sure.
I mean, every game came down to the final minute. And Claflin, they didn't get all the attention that Clark Atlanta did, that Morehouse did, but I ask you this at the beginning of the game, should they win, are they the best team in the SIAC right now? It's hard to say that they are not.
Absolutely not. You talk about what they did during the course of the season. They split with both of these programs, got them both here in a neutral site, and they took them both out on their way to winning the championship. You almost have to give that all of the credit it deserves and make the statement that, yeah, at this time and moment, they are the best team.
And Coach Ricky Jackson just has that quiet confidence. It's not cocky. It's not arrogant. But he said, we were built to win this, and it's hard to argue against him. He has quick guards.
Sure.
And he has a front court. He has perimeter players that can hit those jump shots. They're going to be dangerous to deal with.
You think about it in terms of what the strengths were for Morehouse College with their guards out front. These guards from Claflin showing that they were quicker, and they really stymied Tyrus Walker in that semifinal ball game. He just could not get off, but they were slapping balls, and he would normally get in for a lay-in. You compare them to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta with the men down inside, Jaleel Charles, a great job. They lost Austin Lawton into the playoffs, but Jordan Jones stepping in, and Charles going step for step with Damien Davis on the inside, and Akil Douglas for Clark Atlanta answered everything, and he had the bigger game of those three when it needed most in the championship.
And he really showed that lineup, he can do several different things. You can get some guys in foul trouble, injury as you just said, and they can switch things up and beat you in a myriad of ways. So before we wrap up here, and I definitely want to say some thank yous before we get out of here, but just to put a button on the basketball, we're going to find out tomorrow, but go on the record right now, Charles Ward. Who from the SIAC is going to make it into the Division II tournament?
I'm stepping on the edge here. I'm going to probably be a little bit more conservative than you. Certainly Morehouse, certainly Claflin. We know that because of the automatic. And I think Clark Atlanta gets in there as well. So it may be 3 for the SIAC. And if we get more, that's a bonus. But I certainly think those 3.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think Benedict would have
had they won it.
Benedict and Claflin both weren't going to make it.
Sure.
And Claflin has obviously sealed their deal here with the automatic bid. I think Morehouse and Clark Atlanta have done enough to be nationally ranked from early on. Clark Atlanta opened up the season against the team. What was their first win? It was against a nationally ranked team in the preseason.
They beat Rollins and then Florida Tech.
Yeah. So they started the season off with a bang. And they have played that way throughout. So I think they'll be good, but we'll find out tomorrow. let's get down to the part that's probably going to wear us out a little bit. Let's say some thank yous.
Thank yous. I certainly want to start with all of the members of the SIAC staff, starting with Commissioner Greg Moore, Assistant Commissioner for Compliance Kelly Elliott, Tyler Williams, the Director of Communications, and Leighton Baptiste, the Director of Marketing. Both of those individuals, Tyler and Leighton, new to those positions, did an outstanding job with the tournament here. And all of these folks are on site for the tournament, and they did a wonderful job.
They have seen every second of basketball just like we have.
Just like we have. And the supervisors of officials as well, Alicia Walker and Tony Green, doing a good job of staffing this tournament. So to the SIAC office, certainly a big thanks to them. The presidents had a chance to talk to two of them, President Tisdale and then to President Johnson from Clark Atlanta when their teams won the championship ball game. Those presidents have been so supportive not only of the institution but the athletics programs in particular, and they should be commended for showing up here for the tournament and then following their team into the championship. Dr. Jerome Fitch, the athletics director at Claflin University, and he talked to Lynn from Clark Atlanta after their ball game. So kudos to them for letting these coaches handle the programs that they wanted, and to all of the athletics directors for making sure that their teams are here and everybody well represented.
Yeah, let's go on our side a little bit. First, I want to give a big thank you to HBCU Live and the production efforts of Toby Durham.
Yes, sir.
Toby and I have been up and down the highways plenty of times together. A lot of times you didn't even know who was behind the scenes. We put other people's branding on it, so this is not our first rodeo, but I definitely want to publicly, it's always great when you know you can pick up the phone and say, look, I need you. I need you for a week. And look, we are men of certain ilk. We have families and wives and children,
sure.
And it's not easy just to pick up and disrupt your family life for a week to cover some basketball. Sometimes you got to sell that to your honey bunny
to make it happen.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
So thank you to Toby's wife and family as well.
Sure.
Of course, Commissioner Moore, who approached me about this opportunity, and we definitely jumped on that. Charles Ward, a guy that, to be honest with you, I hardly knew Charles from Adam a couple of weeks ago. And I think the biggest compliment that I will say about your work and how you work is I've seen a lot of comments from people that say, you guys seem like you've been working together forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know Charles 3 weeks ago. Sure. I mean, I knew who he was, but had never had a conversation with him. So, Charles, your willingness to make the trip down here and to give up your time and all the work that it takes. People don't realize when we leave here, we go back to our
sure.
hotel room, and there's 3 and 4 hours of post-work and prep
sure.
work. And
absolutely.
I know you put yourself out on the line this week, so definitely want to thank you as well. And, of course, my family who went on vacation without me. Oh, you have to work? Okay, bye.
We'll see you later. Huh?
There's one less plane ticket.
We're going without you, right? I just want to echo your thoughts on that too, Tolly, that it's just been an extreme pleasure working with the both of you. I knew you briefly before we met, and then we came here on Sunday, and then Toby was here getting set for the production.
Yeah, Toby meet Charles. Charles meet Toby.
Yeah. Only thing I know is he's from Raleigh, North Carolina. And throughout the course of the Sunday, just even setting up, I started to realize that these guys are true professionals, and you handle the production beautifully. This has been, without a question, the best professionally run web stream that I've been a part of, and I just appreciate both of you for making me feel so comfortable in taking us as a team.
Well, thank you so much, Charles. There's been some not only student athletes we've enjoyed, but some students who chipped in and helped us with the production. We've had kids from Clark Atlanta University. We had them on the air. Kyra and Dee Dee have been huge for us this week. We had some kids come over from Miles, who they're not too far away, and they helped us on camera and behind the scenes a bit. So thank you to all the interns and everyone who Charles, you and I will be working for in about 10 years.
Sure, absolutely, right.
They'll be taking over the world, and me, you, and RT will just be in the back trying to hold on.
Absolutely. And one group that we can't forget, although we may not be able to call them specifically by the company that they are, but the folks that the commissioner had as a third party that was organizing this tournament, led by Jill and the rest of her team. They did an outstanding job. We only had maybe 1 or 2 glitches that we worked through just perfectly, and they were spot on with live stats and everything that we needed as a part of working here.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you've been on the call all week long, and you've had the best play-by-play. I was going to give you the final word, but Toby jumped in and stole your headsets.
Well, I had to give a shout out first off to you, Tyler Carr. Thank you for helping put this whole thing together, and we really appreciate the opportunity. We want to thank Commissioner Greg Moore, for giving us this opportunity to put on such a wonderful production. I want to thank the SIAC Conference. I want to give a personal shout out to Mr. Eric Moore for all that he's done, in helping us get here.
The Godfather.
The Godfather, yeah. And like I say, we just hope that we can, bring more to you guys. And we hope that you enjoyed the production. Thank you.
All right. Toby's a man of few words, but he had to get him in there. He likes to stay behind the scenes and get it done. Charles, I was going to say, you've been on the call all week long, so I'll give the final word to you, and you can wish everyone good night.
Indeed, I will. Just want to say thank you for these teams that showed up and played so well throughout the tournament. The winners, Clark Atlanta on the ladies' side. They defeat the Lady Marauders 71-70. In the men's final, the Panthers of Claflin defeat the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 69-61. 23 ball games starting this tournament. 13 teams as a part of that. We worked our way from Monday to today, and now we have the answers for the teams that will be representing the SIAC as it relates to post-tournament and NC2A tournament play. So congratulations to those teams, and to all of the folks here. We've got to give a shout out to the folks here at the Crossplex and working inside the Bill Harris Arena, the ultimate in Southern hospitality in terms of their coverage and their help for us throughout our week's stay here in Birmingham. So we wrap it up with the finals once again for the Lady Panthers of Clark Atlanta. They win it 71-7 over the Lady Marauders of Central State. They are the 2018 SIAC Women's Champs. And on the men's side, it is the Panthers of Claflin winning it 69-61 over the Panthers of CAU. That will do it for our coverage here from SIAC Basketball Tournament 2018. Crystal up. They've been lifted here inside the arena, and we applaud our champions as they go on into the tournament play after this. On behalf of everybody here with HBCU Game Day, my friend now, Tali Carr, and my friend from HBCU Live, Toby Durham, who again is from Raleigh. This is Charles Ward saying thanks so much for joining us all week long, and have a beautiful evening.